Hello everybody and welcome back to another surprise episode. I wasn't expecting to film this. I was just driving down the road and I saw this epic mausoleum with these it looks like Egyptian sphinxes on it, and it listed a senator that was buried here that is apparently the creator of Labor Day. So I thought it was kind of interesting, and there's also like a little Civil War memorial up at the front. It appears so anyway, or just a soldier's memorial. I'm not really 100% on that, but it appears to be a pretty interesting place, mostly new, but there is a decently large historical area, so we'll go ahead and check that out real quick, and then head on to the intended next location. But we're still here in Ohio, right outside Clifton, Ohio. I think this is actually another small town. I'm not sure what it's named. I can't see it from here, but apparently we're in the cemetery known as North Cemetery. So it is off North Road, so I'm assuming that's why the reason for the namesake. So let's get out and check it out. So here is our mausoleum. You can see the two sphinxes at the doorway. I believe that is a throwback to a very specific time in America. I think it was called the Egyptian craze, and you've seen it before on the channel, where often people will invest huge sums of money in these like pyramid-shaped mausoleums or things like this. But pretty interesting, amazing work. And the names and dates of the harpers here at the bottom, and then going up to the door here on the inside is just some epic statue work. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, it's having a real hard time focusing on its own, so I'm going to take it in manual here for a little bit. I apologize if it's not the best. It's kind of hard trying to see the focus on this tiny little screen, but look at this amazing statue in here. And then again, the entombments are on the floor with the names and dates listed on the back here. And then on the outside, some people have left these little glass beads, these decorative beads. I'm not sure the significance of it, but it's pretty interesting. And then our memorial's right over here, but I think first I want to go this way because I'm seeing another painted memorial in the historical section here. It looks like so far late 1800s to mid 1900s. I see an 1872 at the end here, and you can see it is fairly large. Everything over here is pretty much new, and then part of this section is new, but I think everything this way is historical. You can see it right there, the 1872. It's kind of hard to read the name. Oh, it's not painted. These are actually, it looks like copper, and so that's why it has that appearance to it. but still really, really cool. It's got two names on it, Townsend and Miller on this side here. And I don't see specific dates. I see Miller on the other side again. I don't know if anybody can see off in the corner of the frame. There's literally a cop clocking people on the road. Let's, oh, this is kind of interesting here. A little kind of family section, it looks like. See, the ones on the end here have had a little bit of damage. You can see where the stones have sheared off. So again, unlikely that it was any form of vandalism. And it looks like 18... I can't tell if that's 1852 or 32, but definitely another area that is pre-Civil War. You can see a few veterans here. Or at least the one, I guess. But I would assume this is from the Civil War here. And I do see another metal marker up here. Again, as we've learned recently, used during the Prohibition era. Although I don't think this one would have ever been used like that. It does not have the same features as a lot of the other metal graves. And so there would have been no real way of hiding anything inside of it. But still a really interesting find here. Somewhere is the historical marker denoting this famous person. Okay, here it is. So I guess what we'll do is cut over there real quick and take a look at that. Because it may be the person in the mausoleum, I'm not 100% sure. And here we are. And so the senator is considered the father of Labor Day, is James H. Kyle, and that was not his mausoleum. So we will try and locate that grave. Oh, it says birthplace. You know what? I wonder if he's actually even buried here. I kind of assumed from the sign being so close to the cemetery that he would be buried in this place, but it doesn't actually say that, so that may not be the case. Now here's one that's been completely covered because it's kind of sunk. You can see how it's, even during this season, has sunk. You can see the level of the grass, and it's gone down like a few inches, probably because everything's been so rainy this year. And so eventually, you know, if the dirt keeps moving and getting blown over the top and the grass seed keeps propagating, it will just cover the entire thing completely, and it will just look like probably what this is right here, which is probably a row of headstones that have been completely covered up. And I'd say it's far less likely that there's just a huge gap in this section. As you can see, I'm much less worried about the cops than I am about other people coming in and pretending to be security. At the very least, the police officer knows I'm legally allowed to be here and enjoy the nature and a historic construction and people in this place. So Although, if he comes over here, it would make a very interesting video. So he's more than welcome to come and check me out. And so if this person is in here, I'd like to locate it. See a lot of really amazing graves. You can see here that there's a lot of lichen growth as well. I'll go over to one of these and show you here, just like, well, I'm assuming it was the previous place I was at, but it may not be the previous video, just due to the order that these come out. It looks like this is the late 1800s. I see 1831 to 1892 for a Henry Winsley. I can't. So you see just how thick this stuff has grown over the years. And even as a plant lover, you know, I can kind of say that this should probably be removed before it ends up doing too much damage. And again, another area that will eventually start doing damage. You can see these crazy roots sticking up here out of the ground. And you can even see, if we follow this one, it goes right here to the very edge of this memorial before it dives down again underground. So definitely something that is going to have to be taken care of at some point. Well, we're skipping over here. I found a few things that again are in need of repair. Looks like we've got a few more Civil War veterans right here. You can see that this one is clearly denoted with a headstone. However, right next to it, the headstone has either disappeared, or maybe it's meant to mark this memorial here. It definitely appears very likely to be another veteran memorial. It's obviously covered in lichen like some of the others, but it does have a veteran marker here, but it's in between, so there could be another person yet. So it's kind of a confusing one, but for the most part this place is in pretty good condition. This is interesting. I'm not sure. This is marked with a veteran marker, but it has so many different names on it. I'm not sure if it's denoting that all of these people served in some fashion. You can see how old it is. 1777 to 1857. Samuel Kyle, which is the same last name as the senator. So I'm wondering, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is the little family plot or something. And you can see behind it is the large Kyle marker. Again, the historical marker did not actually say that he was buried here. And being such a common name, even if we found it, it may not necessarily represent him. But this very well could be. Although I would think with the historical marker up front, I would hope at least mark it if he were really buried here, or even if it was just his family, but it kind of maybe seems that way. I'm going to have to look up the history behind it and when exactly he lived, and then maybe put something up about it. And this place, another one that kind of confuses me, because it's like it's in such epic condition and still being used to this day, and then every once in a while you'll just find one of these graves that are just falling over and sinking into the ground. So it makes me want to maybe learn a little bit more about the industry and how it works and why things like this ultimately happen, especially in places like this. I can understand way out in the country where not a lot of people get to or drive by, but this one is kind of confusing. Again, not that it's the only one like that, but just slightly confusing on the reasons why some of them go by the wayside and some of them don't, despite the fact that for any of them there would be no living family, unless for some reason, you know, the modern relatives are still coming to visit. Another interesting one, I do find these every once in a while where they've been turned so that they're at an angle from what the other memorials in the area are at. Again, another one I'm not 100% sure on the reasoning, so if you happen to know, let me know. But it may just be an aesthetic choice that this cemetery allowed to happen at the time. So, and it's not like there's anything wrong with that, so. And it's a very historic grave, 1860, it looks like both of them are 18, it's either 63 or 68, and it looks like 1860. Either that or both of them are, it's so difficult to read. Huh. But, yeah. It could have been moved over the years. It's very possible, but it's not the only time I've seen a situation like this where it specifically is like one stone turned at like a 45-degree angle. It's quite an accurate angle to be mere accident. And here we are arriving at what appears now to be a soldier memorial. They don't have a flag up for the season, probably just to prevent it from getting tattered and destroyed from the winds and snow and all that are about to happen here. So really pretty interesting though. And it does have the dates of the Civil War. So I guess it technically is a Civil War memorial, even though it isn't specifically listed here, other than, like I said, the dates. And this one is dedicated to a specific person, which is George Harper. So it's kind of interesting to have on the same memorial a dedication to basically all soldiers that served in the Civil War, and then on the front to also dedicate it to a single local resident. I don't know that I've ever actually seen anything like that before. So we're heading up on the front gate here. I don't know if the gate still functions. No, you can see where it used to function, but they've replaced the metalwork here with a non-functional version just because pretty much everybody drives now. So There's no real reason to have foot access specifically, and there's probably no, well, obviously you can see that there's no actual gate here, so it doesn't ever close to traffic in that way. But pretty incredible sign. I'm not sure how historic it actually is, but it looks like it could be original, or at least pretty close. And at the entrance here that I took, you can see they have a plaque dedicated to Mr. Harper here as well, and you can see that it is called the Memorial Entrance. And so very, very interesting dedication. That's really cool. The one thing that I do kind of find funny is this little sign up here saying only 2 solar lights permitted per headstone. So I'm guessing to even put up a sign like that at some point in their history, they have had to have had a problem with people putting up too many solar lights. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. And again, you can see that this is George Harper's amazing mausoleum. And so you can see that he was a very beloved member of this town, as well as veteran of the Civil War. So what a cool, interesting way to memorialize an amazing veteran that fought for such a noble cause. So once again, thank you for watching this episode on 539. Again, if you are enjoying the episodes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give the videos a big thumbs up. And I will see you all in the next adventure.